Hello. Oh, what is my bit rate? Can I... Audio streams bitrate. Let me edit my audio streams bitrate. Settings. Advanced audio properties. Close. Okay, and here we go. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Hi, Lana. How are you? Sound good? Hi, Joy. How are you? Ooh, I've got cat fur all over my palette here because I didn't have a cover on it. That's delightful. Hope it's been a good week and happy Friday. It's been an interesting week, but getting better, I think. I'm gonna have to clean up this palette that's full of yuck. So my plan for today, I've got a little teeny tiny paper taped off, and I'm gonna make a little teeny tiny postcard. And I've deliberately given myself a tiny space so that I'll finish it today. But I'm going to paint a little snail on some flowers. You have a cattle cat? Aww! Hi, Jill. I can post my references. So these are not my references. Wait, I got some open source images. Wait, that I am loosely basing on. I'm going to copy this image and I'm going to post it into Discord. There's a Discord link in the description in case anyone is watching who isn't already on my Discord. You can join that. I'm going to paste this in here. So Mikey actually only started painting a few months ago. She was very interested in watercolor, but was very scared of actually painting for a really long time, which I didn't realize until relatively recently. And I am glad to say that actually I think I had a big part in convincing her to start painting just at the very end of her life. She'd done some swatching, she had paints, but she was just a little bit intimidated. And she became a very, very prolific flower painter. Just at the very end of her life, she really liked flowers, she liked snails. That was something we had in common, was we'd nerd out about snails and mushrooms. So I'm gonna do a little snail on some flowers. And I think the reference that I've got is Virginia, but I might swap it for some forget-me-nots. And I think I'm gonna paint them in like a tealy blue, like a more turquoisey shade than, you know, real life, and have some moody colors and some teals and turquoises, because those were some of Mikey's favorite shades. So that's my plan for today. So she definitely always wanted to improve. Like, that was what was apparently scaring her. And in like November, December, we had a stretch of, it was, I mean, several times a week she was joining me on whenever I was just painting at my desk. I would turn on a camera or audio and set up just like a private stream or chat, and she'd come and join me. Oh, Paula, don't worry about it. I didn't really have time to get into it before this, but it's not too late. I'll chat with you after the stream. And the community, yeah. So she was such a positive member of the community. It was actually kind of a shock to me that she was swatching and doing like practice, like gradient exercises, but was just scared of, you know, committing to painting. Like she just. Anyway, I'm glad that she built up that confidence and was able to enjoy herself and enjoy painting at the very end. So I am going to sketch a little snail. And then the other fun thing about this snail reference that I'm using is, so snails have a chirality to their shells, where there's a right way around and a wrong way around for snail shells to wrap, and that they're all the same, or very nearly all the same. Very occasionally a snail will get a mutation that has them wrapping the wrong way around, but if they wrap the wrong way around, then they can't reproduce, except with another snail that's got a reverse chirality, and they're extremely rare. And so I'm pretty sure that this reference that I have with a snail with a reverse chirality is just somebody who switched, like somebody switched the, somebody just flipped a photo at some point. But this is something that actually I spoke to with Mikey. She would appreciate it. She would know that this is a special, one-of-a-kind snail. And actually, I have a snail with a reverse chirality tattooed on my ankle. And spoke to Mikey actually, I think right before I got it tattooed, and she was a real fan of it when I showed her. Yeah. So this is gonna be just a little bit bigger than real life, this snail, just so that I can get some of these cool patterns in more easily. And I'm probably going to do some ink on this in a bit, but I also just want to get a very basic this over here, just over here. And we'll do that. Put this over here. And we'll do this one. We'll put this over here. Both. Ta-da! Ta-da! It hit me hard when I learned about it. It's the hardest technique I've ever practiced. I thought she also she didn't feel well, but I'm glad she started painting too. Yeah, so it's possible that it had something to do with her not feeling well, but my understanding was that I was so surprised because I'd asked her something about, you know, I think I was painting a I was doing the mixing chart for for my palette, my curated palette, and so she was commenting, you know, she's impressed with how neat the colors are, and oh, she can't even paint mixing charts that neatly. And like, well, no, I mean, it's tape, it's it's not. Said, okay, what if I make sure that the head comes up here? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my layout so that I can have sure that all of this comes up in here. I want this guy to have some Your palette? Is your palette still in the shop? My palette is absolutely still in the shop. Always checking for lefty snails in the garden. I have not found any lefty snails in person, but I do have a lefty snail right here. And this is my, you know, a couple times a year I have to put my foot up on my desk to show off something or other. In this case, the lefty snail on my ankle. I've painted on stream with you before, so I know how helpful that is. Well, I'm glad that's helpful, and that is, yeah, that's wonderful. Actually, Joy and Paolo, Paolo missed my message, and I missed sending a message to Joy that I meant to send, so it's a really fun tattoo. Yeah, it is a fun tattoo. The lefty snails are not that prevalent. They're not prevalent at all. No, because so it's, they're caused by a mutation, but because they can't reproduce with righty snails, they don't really, it's not like there's a population of lefty snails that, you know, like if two lefty snails got together, they would make more lefty snails, but because they're just a spontaneous mutation and they can't reproduce with righty snails, they don't you know, they disappear after one generation. So it's like whatever the prevalence of that spontaneous mutation is, but it's you know, one in very few. Aha! Found it. Yes, yeah, I do still have. I have the palette on my website. That's hopefully a permanent thing. So it'll be restocked when I sell out, but we're actually still on the first edition. It'll be restocked when I sell out, but like there's a few things that I'm wondering, like, oh, should I change it? So when we get a little closer to that, you know, we've still got about half the stock that, more than half the stock that originally came in. So, yeah, it'll be a little while. Also, guys, there are stickers. There are stickers. They're wonderful. I do really enjoy the stickers. I can show you the stickers. I have two kinds of stickers. I have these stickers, and here are the other stickers. Where are my... Okay, so, do I have loose stickers of the... Apparently not. Okay, so the first kind of stickers I have actually on this palette, one of them. So this is on a clear background. It is sunburst lichen. And then the other kind of sticker on a white background is this cool little Amanita mushroom. So that's the two stickers that I have in the shop right now. Updates the palette? Me, take my money. Well, I mean, I imagine that some of it is going to stay pretty similar, but so I wonder, do I want to make an extended version that has more colors, or do I just want to swap out a few things? I don't know. The thing is, Roman Schmalz just has so many cool colors that it's it was difficult to bring it down to like, okay, I'm only going to choose 12. But that being said, I will happily take your money. All right. However, while I will happily take people's money, I will also, right now, this is not about taking money. This is about making a little making a memorial painting that I'm not making money on, just making some memorial art. It was really nice to have Mikey join me for, they were just like often just like really casual. I'll turn on a camera because I'm working on something. And it was nice that I could count on pretty frequently just having somebody to hang out. But I've actually used your palette for a while and I like it a lot. I've been using it most recently for this thing that's almost done for that video that's coming out tomorrow. So a little bit more to do here. Going back and forth with editing video and then painting and then editing video and then painting. Spoilers! Yes! Used it for my painting for Mikey's family too. So I considered using it for my painting for Mikey's family, but instead I'm using this gigantic thing where I've got a bunch of other colors because some of the... So Mikey liked some really, like, I guess strong colors. Like, some of them moody, but then also like turquoises and like golden yellows and stuff. I just added an orchid, my first oncidium. You were asking about plants, I think, like when the renovation is done, and I have been thinking about adding some orchids to our house. Eventually I'd like to get a, like set up some kind of a green wall system or like a drip irrigation vertical garden thing. So true, she liked the happy colors. Yes. Place must look gorgeous. Right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I read Joy's comment about orchids as Lana. I mixed that up. Okay, yes. I'm trying orchids. So far none survived here. I've had decent luck with some orchids. I mean, in the past. Right now, I am struggling to keep anything alive indoors, which is, Okay, I need to set this back further, so I'm sort of like rotating this snail around a little bit. I just want to make sure that, that the end of the his little horn here lands more or less right on the corner there, and then I'm just trying to make sure a bunch of things. Yeah. Before we got our bathroom redone, my orchids were thriving. 2 weeks after the remodel, and they packed their bags. Well, it's more like the process of the remodel, I think, that's really been killing my plants. It's just, the house has been so full of... We made the mistake of not getting like a storage unit to put all of our stuff and all of the construction stuff in, so we've been living in our renovation but with all of the materials everywhere, and it's just there's a reason that's not the recommended course of action. Mikey was always such a positive force. You know, when she was in the hospital, and then she'd ask me if I'm okay, and then she'd give her update, like, oh, you know, I'm back in the hospital, back in... Oh, goodness. Always just so cheerful, so positive. Okay, so that's my little guy there, and then I want to check if I can replace these easily with like forget-me-nots. I think our old bathroom was not good at getting rid of the moisture from the shower. The new bathroom is super good at it. So our new bathroom has the way we remodeled our bathroom, there's like quite a bit of light bouncing around there. So I'm looking forward to, actually, we have a window that opens right out onto the street from our bathroom that I need to cover up. So I want some probably some trailing like Hoyas and things, some trailing plants over the window, but even with trailing plants over the window, I think I can sneak in one or two little orchids. How deeply she cared and wanted to help. Yes, and she'd just like, she'd check in like, oh, I haven't heard from you in a little bit, are you? Okay, so let's get some. So forget-me-nots feel appropriate both because of their symbolism and meaning, but also because somebody can go find some of the floral paintings that Mikey did in the last few months. She did a lot of these little, like, simple 5-petaled flowers that she'd sort of developed her own style for these loose florals. I think, you know, I the way I paint is very different, but I think it kind of fits. Like, I think I can kind of do something in here with the forget-me-nots that is reminiscent of the same sorta. Thanks me for being kind and making her day brighter when she has deliveries for us. And that was the feeling in reverse. Yes! Yes, it was always, you know, it's interesting because even though, like, I talked to her quite a bit over the last few months, I don't feel like I ever got to really know her as much as I might have wanted. But she was just always just so, just like this bright spot. Pansy, she painted are lively. I love the photos you, or was it Snaps posted? Yeah, I think it was Alex. She was very good at grounding and leaving you with the warm fuzzies. Yes. Yeah. And I love how much she just, like, it took, you know, apparently she was having some trouble with confidence, but then once she started painting, she just really took off with it. And I'm just glad that she got to enjoy that. Yeah. For after the move, yeah. She also said that nurses love to see her paint and asked her for some of her paintings. She gifted them. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. And that sounds exactly like Mikey. Generous to a fault. Okay, I am bored of drawing, so I'm gonna start painting. That's me. Let's get some paint on here. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Okay, so that. All right, so we're gonna do some real Quinn Gold. A little sketchbook as far as I know. I found one of the paintings she shared with me and we'll post it on Discord. Awesome, that's great. Yeah, I didn't realize how much she was painting. Like, I know that she started painting. She sent me a few of the very first paintings that she did, but I was blown away then when Alex shared, like, no, here's all of the things. Like, she was going. And I think, Lana, you also had received a few and shared them. That, like, oh no, she was painting quite a bit. Which is amazing. It's amazing. I'm so happy for that. What orchids are typically grown in Germany? Well, I think with Germany, it'll be much like in Canada. We do have some native orchids that grow outdoors, like the slipper orchids, but mostly in terms of houseplants. The challenges we get, and I assume it's very similar in Germany, because of our heating systems in the winter, we have no problem with humidity in the summer, but in the winter, it can get quite dry indoors because whatever the relative humidity is outdoors, it's so much colder, and then you run a heating system and it gets dry. Indoor temperature ranges are not, it's not so much the indoor temperature ranges, it's just humidity. Like, my understanding of New Zealand is because you have less of a heating season. Like, if you're heating at all indoors, it's a smaller temperature range. And because you have higher relative humidity in your winter. Sorry, I did, past life, I did, I was a civil engineer. I specialized in building science, and so I did a internship with the Green Building Council in Brazil, but it was it was funded by the World Green Building Council, and one of the other students who did that program went to New Zealand, and her report was all about the issues with humidity, in terms of like conditioned spaces, which is kind of the opposite of what we have in the winter. Here it's very dry in the winter. Have heat pumps or heat distribution systems. I think we have like almost no drops in temp at night, because if it does, the heating jumps on. Our nighttime temperature isn't dropping enough for the cat. Yeah, in our new house. That's interesting, Lana. A lot of people here set their thermostats, like they'll set their heaters to heat to lower temperatures at night. Is that not a thing in Germany? Heat pumps are very in now here too. They're just catching on here. Like they're definitely, I have, it's something that a lot of people are interested in, and I know a lot of people who are just getting heat pumps installed, but this house has both heat pump and heat distribution. When you say heat distribution, what do you mean? But lower temperatures at night is usually not below 18 Celsius, which is not very cold. Yes, I guess because because I've been having some like real issues with heat recently. This past year, through the winter, I was pushing for let's not turn on our heater until it's absolutely necessary. Like we don't want our pipes to freeze, but it's 5 degrees overnight, that's fine. We'll just leave the windows open. There are definitely orchids that only need moderate humidity, like 50%. I've also found that, the other challenge that I've had with keeping plants alive while renovating is that I don't really have the space to do this, but I found that I could make quite an effective little microclimate and, choose a spot where I had a bunch of plants together and run a humidifier, and then all the plants would keep their humidity, in their little area. From the roof cavity where it's generally... Okay, so like a ventilation system. Like in a heat recovery ventilator, like a heat exchanger or something. Or is that like exchanging with outside air, or... You think orchids would do better in the bathroom then? I have found orchids tend to do great in the bathroom so long as you can get some light for them. Like, if you don't have a window at all in your bathroom, it might be a problem, but... I will try to put my orchids not into Boxapaint's new bathroom. Well, I mean, that would not be the most useful place for you to get the most enjoyment out of your orchids, would it? In a completely different country. We had painted walls before, and the remodel is tile, and I think that has also not helped. Oh, just because of the... That's interesting. Our washroom, our new washroom, is all tiled in. Like we... But on the other hand, we also put... we made it steam ready. So we... underneath the tile is all curdy board. So it should hold. I mean, like, it has external ventilation that was not super there before, but... Probably goes for longer. The terrariums have lids, so they are still happy in the bathroom. Though we did have a group of isopods. Ooh, well then. I have an orchid in a coffee percolator jar. Can't think of the name. That's neat. Lana, your creatures have escaped. I'm experimenting with moss for purposes of placing in a terrarium, like fresh moss. I like tiled bathrooms, so easy to clean. Yes, yeah. So our bathroom is fully tiled all the way around. It's wonderful. I mean, I guess outside of so we have a walk-in shower that takes up a whole bunch of the bathroom. Outside of the shower, we do have some sections that are like above a certain level that are drywalled, but well, not even drywalled, sorry, they are curdy boarded and then plastered over the curdy board. We have tiles, floor to bottom. Some older bathrooms only have tiles up to shoulder height or so. So we have tiles all the way around, like in the shower, it wraps around all the way to the ceiling, like on the ceiling. But then through the rest of the bathroom, it's about, yeah, like chest height maybe? All tiles except ceilings, the window ledges, the shelves, the walls. Yeah, so we have, yeah, and then there's shelves and whatever. Yeah, we can squeegee, I mean, again, it's actually a very small amount that isn't tiled because of how much the walk-in shower takes up of that washroom, but and in the walk-in shower, because we wanted to make it steam ready, so it's tiled even up on the ceiling, like it's tiled all the way around. It's not customary for your bathrooms to be tiled. Over here, it's the default. I mean, I think it's pretty customary for the floor to be tiled and like around the shower, not necessarily on the ceiling, but then the rest of the bathroom, sometimes, often it's only like a half wall or not at all outside of the shower. I want to find a rabbit's foot fern or bird's nest fern to mount in an epiphytic manner and plant up around with moss, like full terrarium. By find, do you mean like actually find? Sorry, I live somewhere where these things don't grow. So when I say find, I mean go to a store and buy. But I'm assuming that since you live somewhere where these are native to, that you could actually just go find one, which would be cool. Go to a store. Okay. We'll walk at the edge of the forest. Well, I mean, like, I thought it was worth asking because there are things that are native to here that, you know, you don't want to be like raiding the forest unless you have a lot of forest that you know isn't, you know, under stress. Unless you have your own property, you don't want to be like foraging the local urban forest. But there are definitely things where I've considered, like, okay, well, certainly, like, I could collect seeds wild, And there are things where it's like, well, they're not at risk, and rather than going to buy a plant, surely I could just collect me a plant to propagate for my own garden or what have you. I don't have access to a forest. I'd have permission to do that in. There are some really pretty microferns, but they are expensive over here. Even the word microfern sounds expensive. Yes, it's like the microgreens, the microgreens of houseplants, right? Like, man, if micro basil is astronomically expensive, just imagine a microfern. I have so much moss in my big terrarium. I don't know why it was 3 isopods. It was fine. Got the new guys and they cleared it out. You have isopods. That's amazing. I love it. I know that you mentioned them earlier with making a run for it, but it took me a moment to clue in. Isopods are amazing. Love isopods. I've been amazed that plants I thought died years ago make a sudden comeback. I have had that happen. So I have a few plants that are I'm only 90% sure are dead that I'm still keeping, still watering. Because it's okay, you haven't had any leaves in a long while, but you don't seem to be entirely dead. So maybe you'll just come back. Box of paint can be the isopod expert. Oh yeah, well, I have all sorts of isopod questions for the isopod expert. I mean, only kind of, sort of, because I feel like my husband would not appreciate it if I started bringing in isopods, right?
No, absolutely not.
But cute isopods?
No.
Hubby is very freaked out by them, but appreciates they make me happy. I mean, it's just a matter of, which things do I want to push my luck on, right? I've kept dead birds in my freezer for extended periods of time, which at one point was Jordan had told me, that's the deal breaker, that you start storing specimens in our freezer, and you will find yourself single very quickly. And as it turns out, nope. That was not, in fact, a deal breaker. Hooray! But I find one of the water isopods in my filter for the pond, I freak. But the land ones are just cute. I had a t-shirt for a long while that had a doodle of a giant isopod on it that said, "I feel pretty." And yeah. In general, I'm quite happy with whatever. I mean, the other thing is, Jordan might freak if I bring in live isopods, but I am going to start insect specimen collection, so I think as long as it stays in a drawer, we're good. I have little aquatic snails or shrimp. But I also have some worm, millipedes, and other things that hitched a ride on a brick I put in there. Like in the terrarium. So I've been thinking about, like, do I want to set up a terrarium? Honestly, not even for, like, isopods and things, but I have, like, when I'm painting mosses and bryophytes and mosses and lichens that are dependent on humidity, it might be nice to have some place I can keep them fresh. So I keep wondering, like, do I want to set myself up a terrarium cabinet here or at the other studio? We had one snail in our aquarium and she has been busy. They haven't overrun anything, but you can always see about 10. Big jar terrarium. It's taken years to get to where it's at, but it's so amazing. Oh my goodness. Box, can you go into my Discord and go share some pictures of your terraria? Because that seems, all of this sounds amazing. And although I'm not at a point right now where I'm making myself a terrarium, I could live vicariously. think you'd enjoy a terrarium if you have the energy to put it together. Yes, I'm sure that I would enjoy a terrarium. It's right now it's just a matter of the priority is getting the house fixed up, because right now any plants I add are I'm just killing, which is, you know, destructive to my finances. It's destructive to my... It's destructive to everything. Plan on it with living plants. I'm most excited about the plants. I ordered a large jar that I thought would be good for lemonade, iced tea sort of thing. It arrived and it was party-sized. Just make a party? That sounds like an opportunity, really. So how many people do we have participating in the botanical art thing tomorrow? Collab. It won't fit in the fridge. I have it on a marble slab because it's now had two other terrariums explode when I tried to move them. My boyfriend thought I was joking when I was excited about the beautiful moss I had found. This man needs to learn. Oh, there's a botanical art collaboration on YouTube that's coming out tomorrow. So I painted this thing. In fact, I'm still painting this thing. You can see that it's not quite finished. But I'll finish it tonight and then finish the video and post it. And it's coming out at, I believe it's 6 p.m. your time or thereabouts. I had to hide my botanical piece because I couldn't stop working on it. Well, you see, I have a problem that I can't seem to do anything unless it's, you know, urgent and last minute. So, the thing is, a lot of my video is actually the, on location sketching for that, which I did 2 months ago. And so I did want to have like an actual finished piece to go with it, but it's not actually a huge portion of the video, so. Joy says 6 p.m. my box of paint and Paolo's time. I am confused. Have you moved into box of paint's house as well? Is that where you've got your terrarium? Where you're building your terrarium? Because I thought that you were way off on. I'm missing something. Hey, you know, then when we all get plants that we shouldn't, you know, we don't have to explain ourselves. What do you mean you're excited about moss? What is this? What is this new plant? Just box his husband. It's not mine, I swear. That one's Lee's. Oh, you said 6 p.m. your time, Lee. I wanted to keep track of the convo enough, so it's hilarious to me that we're everywhere. Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I was saying to Paolo, because I know that it's 6 p.m. Lana's time. I think she's in the same time zone. It's like 11 a.m. my time. I'm taking it over for the last year. 2 pots here, a hanging plant there, a few more pots. I mean, I was definitely doing that. But then the renovation took over. And at this point, it's like, there's the renovation and then there's the workshop. Oh my goodness, our workshop is now the house. I think that Lana is 1 or 2 hours ahead. 1 hour, I think. Lana's 1 hour ahead of me. It's 9 here now. Okay. Lana is 1 hour ahead of you. It is 9 there now, so it is 10 for Lana. So she is... It's only 10 for Lana? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so it's not, it's actually only, all right. Good to know. So it's not 11 a.m. that it's getting posted. It doesn't matter. I just need to make sure that I have the right time. I always think that Portugal is in the same time zone as the UK. I'm sorry, yes, I've just kind of like, I guess, flattened all of Europe into like, yeah, you know, you just did whoop. boyfriend is beginning to realize to expect things like rapturous conversations about moss. Yes, hi. Hi, Dan. Good, 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 good. Training him well. So, there's a natural science illustrators group, like a local group that I've been a part of, that I've been a member of for years, who organize these lovely trips to the comparative anatomy lab at the University of Toronto, which I've always really enjoyed going to. But you see, now I have a service dog, and the comparative anatomy lab is full of animal remains, and I'm wondering, should I go? Should I bring Amber? Like, she's trained, you know, she's great in, like, the meat aisle at the grocery store. She's great in, like, a farm setting. But this is just, it's something so different and so new that it's like, I'm not sure how she'd be in a lecture hall full of, or a lab, like a university lab full of dead animals. You know, they're awfully close to, oh my goodness, these are just dog treats. Is she gonna wanna, like, pull to sniff at all the cabinets? You know, you can't train things that without exposing your dog, but that one is a pretty weird one to have exposed her to. I think actually I might just have to contact them and be like, I would like to attend, but I will show up with my dog and we will see how that goes, because I might have to just leave right away. Don't know how much art I'm actually going to be able to do. Yes, it is. RGM T plus 0. Snail looks so pretty already. Mainland Portugal, that is. Afraid of something. He's hiding and sniffing, but it's not even raining. I think the heat is playing tricks on his mind. Aw, poor Danta. Tomorrow's collab. Can't wait to see everyone's art. Well, I've given some sneak peeks. I think you saw it yesterday too, but how many people do we have in the collab? Sorry, I asked earlier and then lost track, and I don't know if somebody answered or not. And then Euphorbia obesa by globosa is my entry, and I'm not sure it's very common. Oh. Hi, Steven. Yeah, it's really sad. She was just such a joy. Yeah, she was so sweet. She was smart. I forgot what she studied, but we talked about philosophy too. Oh, I don't really. I have no idea what. Yeah, I don't know what she studied. Subjects that we studied overlapped, and it was very interesting to hear her experiences and opinions. I don't think I ever touched on that. Yeah, she mentioned because she was devoted to teaching her son. I mean, that was her, in between juggling health issues, she was, I don't think, working for some time other than, you know, her full-time job was taking care of her son. I think she would have been a great teacher. Yes, I'm sure, yeah. It's philosophy. Would make sense, yeah. We found today that Lee DM'd from the 11th of August. Paulo, I'll touch base with you about that. Don't worry about it. You haven't missed anything. philosophy would make sense, only found out that... She also had an adventurous life before she became ill. Yeah, I remember, because... Wasn't she the one that came up with the phrase lumpy elephant? Yes, she was. It's a good phrase, though. She did. Something she and I shared as we chatted sometimes. Yeah, we spoke very briefly about that. And it's been good hearing about how kindness and art and connection remained part of her life after illness as well. She was extremely kind. She was taken far too soon, yes. She would have rocked those. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a bit of a problem here. Just not dark enough. Dark enough in the dark areas. And it just feels a little bit not shiny enough. And I'm not entirely sure how to fix that. I wonder if I did fill up one of these with this guy. Yep. No, that's not the right color. Okay, where did I put? Also not that. Can't be that many. This is the pink. This is something else. That's something else entirely. This doesn't even look full, and I doubt that it's... Yeah, that looks empty. Did I put this guy? This guy? That's still... This seems even less likely. Too many pens that do not have the color that I want them to. So I had a pen with a sort of light sandy brown ink in it. That I've apparently eaten because it's nowhere to be found. We recently actually just cleared out, my studio for the past 3 years has had wood from our basement paneling stacked up beside my main desk, underneath my main desk rather. So I haven't been able to use my home studio properly, but we recently moved that out because the attic is done. And so I have my studio back, but in the process of rearranging my studio, I've misplaced some things. What else is new? Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'll just use watercolor. You have cookies and tea now? That sounds amazing. What? What? You want to go outside? Okay, let's take you outside then. She wants cookies. Ember would like cookies? Ember, can you talk quietly? Can you talk quietly? Say, yes, I like cookies. Ember, talk quietly. One, talk quietly. Ember, talk. Do you like cookies? Talk quietly. Ember, do you like cookies? You like Treatos? Talk quietly. Can you talk quietly? She's staring at me like, yes, it's obvious I like cookies. Now just let me outside like I asked. You're being ridiculous, human. Again, because you're always ridiculous. Why do the humans always do ridiculous things? Okay, why is this one not running now? It should run. Why do you not run, little pen? Why do you not run? I give up. Winter is vile. Winter is wonderful. I agree. Cozy up with knit socks and drink tea. Rain, cold, lack of sunlight, depression. Oh my goodness. Can we trade? You can have my summer and I will take your winter. And that way I will only have the kinds of weather that my body can handle. I can't handle the heat anymore, so I once very much enjoyed summer. And that was then, and this is now. Okay, Ember, you want to go outside? Let's go outside then. Ember, go outside. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Yes, Ember, go, go, go. Go, go, go. to know what I did with that pen. Okay, well, that's fine. I guess I don't really need it. All right, let's do. With no vitamin D in anything, including the sun itself. Okay, I'm gonna go prep a pen because I don't know what I've done. I need a pen. Nope, that one's definitely full of glue. Okay, what have I done? And that one is definitely full of something. This one looks kind of empty. Mostly empty. Kind of empty. Not really empty, but I will go use this one. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Now this should be good and weird. I haven't properly cleaned it out before refilling it, so it's going to be a mix of colors. But mixed colors will still get me where I need to go. I take a bit of vitamin D in the winter. I should be taking vitamin D, but yeah, I have a deficiency, so my intake should not be the norm. I had it tested. The thing is, I have a deficiency, but it's like the doctor kept on increasing the amount of vitamin D I was supposed to be getting, and it was like, you know, okay, well, you know, double it and double it again and double it again and double it again, and it was just not like. It was slightly low. Like, it was like within range before, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter how much I take. It's like, it doesn't change. So I don't really know what to do with that. Okay. Maybe I'll just add some white dots in here later, because this is kind of messy and not really loving how this is looking. That one. Try this one. Is fortified is because they added B12. Yeah, we get, I think, both in our milk. I mean, milk naturally has B12. I don't know. Certainly, like, plant milks get B12 added. Well, that's a little wild. I wonder if I can just add a little bit more of, say, that down there. Just make it a little bit less wild. And then we can add, yeah, okay, that's better. I'll have to add some little white spots later to make it sparkle, but at least the main thing is going to be better. And I'll just add some, a little bit of this guy. clever measure. I don't use coffee creamer in the States because it's mostly vegetable oil. One of the not melts are as well. My brain radio just repeats, "You're drinking oil." I've seen in the news last week that there's a study where the store brand vegan stuff was bought more and they're so confused about it. I think it's cream is mostly fat, so that makes sense. Hi, Mom! It's a little too green. A little green, but not that green. Let's get this a little bit more. Oh. And there's that. All right. And maybe I'll just throw in just a tiny bit more purple down here. And then I can put in a little bit more white dots later. But then, now we can do the little flowers. So let's see, I want to do some really tealy blue ones, turquoisey. Wow, okay, it's a little much. A lot much, wow, okay. Not exactly what I had in mind. Ah, even worse. Okay, try that again. So the fake drink I got today has 1.6 grams of fat, 2.5 grams sugar, and 100 grams of drink, no vitamins added. Bye! I will send you a chat. Check, yeah, Paula, check your messages on Discord tomorrow. I'll have a thing for you. Oh my goodness. Now I'm just spreading yellow all over. That's not what I wanted to do. This is not doing what I want at all. Unimpressed with myself. You're painting cooey. Something like that. So I like how forget-me-nots, they actually come in, depending on the acidity and age of the flowers, they actually change colors, and so depending, you'll actually get like little clusters of forget-me-nots that all have slightly different colors. Fun. So I'm gonna enjoy playing with that. Okay, now this is working a little bit better, thank goodness. Okay, all right. forget-me-nots though. Yeah, they are fun. They seem like the right choice for this little piece. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get them all around, and then I'll do a loose background of some kind. Nope. Nope. Oh, Wimber. Oh, Wimber. Cutie. Jordan, can you go fetch the dog, please?
Very well.
Thank you. So what does everyone have planned for this weekend? I mean, I know that a bunch of us have that collab video, but presumably that's a thing we finish up tonight and get ready to post, and then isn't forevermore. Industry months, lots of work planned at collab industry on Sunday. Yes, and I also have I have to revisit the class thing that I was supposed to post, well, originally 2 weeks ago now. But I have to keep moving with that so that I can start working on the non-Patreon one, the full class. And then once the weather cools down on Tuesday, I have a contract with the city to paint a picnic table. So that should be fun. I'd like to make a little trip somewhere, but it's too hot outside and I don't want to walk around in 30 Celsius. Yes, that's part of my issue, as I was supposed to go visit my family in Toronto this weekend. That's not happening because it is too hot for me to leave this house. It is supposed to cool down in the next few days, so cools down, then I can at least do my picnic table thing, which is, you know, mostly not me who's delayed, thank goodness. then also I'm going to want to take this, let's see, let's make a nice mix, I guess. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I am loving the variation of the forget-me-nots, and I'm hoping that once I come back in and add the little centers, that they're really gonna pop. And then I can just add a few little branches in between. I'm trying to be like pretty loose with the background. Loose, but also make it dark and moody to make the forget-me-nots pop out more. Mikey would have loved this so much. Thank you. Yes, I hope so. That was what I was sort of digging my mind to, like, what would Mikey have wanted? What would Mikey have suggested? I didn't get all of the words right, forgot a bunch of stuff. The painting could have had so many extra little things, but I know Mikey would have got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now let's go over here. Get some of this stuff in there. always really hard asking that question. It's the same with funerals, etc. I don't know. She asked me to paint hamsters a few times and asked if she could have some of the snail paintings I did. So I know she'd enjoy those. And she fell in love with the tiny paintings and asked for them. So I sent them to her for her birthday. The cobalt turquoise is so rich. It is. It's true, but it's hard to gauge what she wanted done in memorandum. We of course can't answer that, but I think it's a good guide to remember what brought her joy in her life. Same goes for everyone. No one really knows what they would like that to be, but I think we can do it justice. I think about my funeral, but I'm super indecisive. Well, that turned. Don't go dying on us, Dan? I hope you've got lots of life left to live. You plan your funeral? Isn't that normal? I don't plan my funeral. I figure I'm dead and someone else can figure it out. Many plan, but many have an idea of what they would like. Like, I know how I'd like to be recycled and how I'd like the gathering to be. I even think about song choices. Okay, that is not a thing that I have once thought about. I don't know if that makes me the abnormal one or you, but that this has never occurred to me. Like, I'm not, you know, yes, at some point I will die, but when I'm dead, then other people can figure out what the song choices are. Do you think about your song choices, but like, then do you have this like written down somewhere? Like, if you're choosing songs for your funeral, like, do you have, is this a reference that, you know, family and friends have? Is this a thing that you discuss with friends? Like, I'm confused because not only has this never come up, but like, I don't think that I have access to like other people's you know, funeral choices, you know. Okay, and then I just need to do the little centers and the branches, and then that'll be done. So the closest I've had, I mean, it's not what, I haven't really done much to plan my eventual death, but I have a neighbor, had a neighbor who, she was older, but not, you know, she was in her late 60s, or early 70s, but she was still working and very healthy. But she had me sign her will for her before she traveled at one point, because she was going to go visit her sister in Israel. And her will was pretty straightforward, except that the one sort of odd thing about it was she had left her dog she wanted to leave her dog to a friend. So everything else went to her kids, divided evenly. There wasn't that much. Nothing terribly unusual, except the dog didn't go to the kids. The dog went to this friend of hers, and the friend had convinced her, you know, you should probably write that down somewhere, because I'm just some guy. And so she found a template on the internet, printed it off, and had a couple of people sign her will. Went and traveled, visited her sister, came back home. She bought a new house, and I was expecting to hear from her. You know, she'd text every so often. So she used to live the house right behind ours, but then she bought a house just out of town. I was kind of expecting her to, yeah, okay, it's all ready, come visit. I didn't hear from her for a while, and I was going to text, and then I ran into the friend, and it turns out she had, just after moving, they'd gone to dinner. She was driving home to her new house and got into a car crash and died. And so then I had to go out to the lawyers to verify that, yes, in fact, I had signed this will. The mutual friend, did get the dog right away, because she had also explained this to her kids. So it wasn't, you know, there wasn't any big disruption, but it was just, when I signed that will, there was absolutely no expectation that would ever, you know, that would ever be a relevant thing. We thought we were just being responsible, and then 2 months later, she passes away, and it did kind of strike me as like, huh, you know, good thing we did that. Good thing we signed that stuff. We had it already. And I did have some thoughts of, okay, well, maybe what I learned from this is, maybe I ought to think about what my will would say. But the truth is, if I die, Jordan will figure out what, honestly, my personal estate is not terribly interesting. Not much there. Oh, I think I'm actually going to use just a black ink for that. So I'm just going to let that dry for a moment, and then I'll come back in with black ink to get the little details of these flowers. And then I might also get a tiny bit of white gouache to add a few little highlights back into that snail, make it look a little wetter. I'm not weird. Well, I am, but still. I guess the thing is I have this thought of like, oh, right, I guess I should probably have something prepared in case, you know, both Jordan and I drop dead. We should maybe have some kind of direction of like, yeah, and this is where the life insurance goes. But I don't think that even then it would really... don't think that I would really be thinking about my funeral. Like I don't think that would really even be a thing even then. Sorry, I just need this to dry a little bit before I can add any black ink for the little branches, and then I need, where did I put my white gouache? Whew, so many things. White gouache. Nope, that's not it. And that's not it. A mess. Aha. White gouache. I may do just a tiny bit. I don't have life insurance, but I know who would get everything if I went. Well, I mean, so if it's just me who goes, then it's Jordan who inherits my mess. Which unfortunately, like my personal, what I leave to the world is not helpful. If we both go, then, you know, if we're both in a car crash, then presumably our parents divide up our life insurance amongst our siblings or something, which ultimately, like, I trust that my people would do something reasonable, but it's not spelled out in any way. If the topics are a bit too macabre, let us know. Oh, I'm morbid and creepifying all the time. It's more like let me know if I've gone down the too negative again path. Okay, and then I have a tiny bit of white here. Let's go with, take a look at this snail and see where I can add a little bit more highlight. Okay, that's a little much. There we go. And one little stop here. Okay, and then I can okay, and then I'm gonna pull off this tape and see how that looks. Well, that's cute. Alright, so I just need to trim that. And then there we go. I think I can probably do just a tiny bit more of the, just getting this all cleaned up. as such. I'm going to call that done. I just need to trim that and then yeah. Oh, I'm actually also gonna, while I'm here, just add a tiny bit more. There. And yeah, whatever. Yeah. I think I should probably just leave it for a moment and then I think that's done. So, yeah, that works out. I'm glad that I actually got this done. I thought I might have missed the deadline. I'm glad that Alex is letting me ship this. All right, thank you everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.